syntactic development in autistic children, we again see a lot of similarities between the development in autistic children and the development in typically developing children. So preschoolers with autistic spectrum disorder understand WH questions, just like typically developing children do. So things like, what did the apple hit? Where the what, right, is the WH word, and it's in that order, and you understand what you're asking about, right? So the comprehension of this form of syntax seems to be the same. In terms of how the syntactic information is processed in real time, it seems like autistic children process sentences incrementally, like one word or one piece at a time, sort of building up an idea about what the sentence means as they go along, very similarly to typically developing children. And high-functioning autistic spectrum disorder children understand, for example, structural restrictions on reflexive pronouns like himself, right? The self part is the reflexive part. So, for example, they will understand that when you say Jack washed himself, that means Jack washed Jacked, versus Jack washed him means Jack washed someone else, right? And again, this is something that typically developing children figure out. Sometimes for various reasons it takes them a little bit longer than some other types of knowledge, like those understanding WH questions or processing sentences incrementally. But that is the knowledge that they gain by say 4 or 5, sometimes a little bit earlier depending on how you test this. And high functioning autistic children have the same kind of knowledge, so they're able to pick up these various pieces of the syntactic system in what appears to be a very similar way to typically developing children. So like morphology, syntactic development appears to not be terribly impaired in obvious ways in autistic children.